Hello again, this is Judy Morio, and this is the World of Book Reviews. And tonight I'm talking with author Morgan St. James, and I'm so thrilled to have you here. Thank you for being here.
I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, it's wonderful. Let's talk about this book now, because this book, Crying Angels?
Yes. No more Crying Angels.
No More Crying Angels. Tell us about that one.
Okay, well, this is, actually both of these books are quite timely right now with everything that's been in the news, because I co-authored No More Crying Angels and Incest, Murder, and a Miracle, and they are both stories, true stories, about women who were abused and sexual not harassment, but sexual, what would you call it?
Well, abuse and assault, yes.
Yeah, and they have both gone through the pain of writing the books to come forward, after many years, I might add, to help other people, to encourage people who may be walking in the shoes that they walked in, that they don't have to be defined by what's happened to them in their lives, that they can still rise above it and live a life.
So these are true stories, and they're written by you with the women who it actually happened to.
Yes, and this is a whole different kind of writing, Judy, because you know, it's really important to keep the person's voice when you're dealing with them. I don't want it to be in the way I would say something.
Well, it's their story.
It needs to be in their voice. And in this case, Bella Capo was the abused child of a crime guy, and he had his own network. She never was sure that he was mafia. She didn't think so, but he had his own network no matter where he went, and he was always feared in the neighborhood. And her abuse occurred with her brother, her older brother, and his friends, the sexual abuse. And she was Daddy's little girl until her mother, who had been a drug addict, went into rehab. Her brother was the one who got her father's wrath. He would beat him up all the time, and then he'd turn around and beat her up. So from the time she was 4 years old.
Oh my goodness.
And so he got himself out into a foster family, and now it was just Bella and her dad, and his rage turned to her. And he was very abusive to her. She got herself out of the house when she was 12 years old. She found foster help, you know, but the thing was, and this is something that really is important for people to know. You know, when I write a book like this, I have to live in their head because I have to understand what they're going through. And the system doesn't help them very much.
No,
the system doesn't help them. At age 11, she had to be her own advocate. And then she was given back to her father, who was the abuser, because he paid the judge off. And she got to a point where she said she'd rather live on the streets than live in her father's home. And she was a real wild child. And she has now turned around. I mean, the book is full of stuff that you can't make up.
Right.
I guess you could make it up, you know. But
I know, but real life is sometimes more interesting, exciting, and tragic.
Yes.
Than the stories we could ever make up.
And I will add that one good thing that came out of it is when she was in one of the facilities, she met the actress Ali MacGraw, who became her unofficial godmother. And Ali guided her and that was a very fortunate thing
Oh,
for Bella.
yes.
It's a relationship that exists all the way to today.
Amazing.
And you know, we have to appreciate that we haven't lived those lives.
Yes, yes. And there's so many people today that have. And I don't know if it happened back when I was younger and we just didn't hear about it because we didn't have the media and the technology that we have today, or if it didn't happen as much back then.
I think it did. I think that, you know, from working with these people, actually, besides these 2 books, I also worked on 1.5 other books with victims.
Yeah, wait,
So-
wait, hold it right there. We're going to talk about those in just a minute. It's time for another break, so thank you so much for being with us, and we'll be right back just as soon as we have this commercial break. We're going to learn more from Morgan St. James. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jamie Lee Metz, CEO and founder of Skin Fitness here in Las Vegas. We've been serving Las Vegas for over 17 years. We're proud to announce we just won 2017 Spa of the Year by Image International. That's the skincare company of the Miss Universe pageant. We offer exclusive treatments like our Time Eraser facial, which uses multiple modalities and literally erases time. Our Pore Purge, which is the ultimate in hygiene, and our Fire and Ice facial, which literally removes and soothes the skin at the same time. Come see us at our new location here in Village Square. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Good evening. This is Judy Mario, and this is the World of Book Reviews, and welcome back. This is my guest, Morgan St. James, tonight, and we're talking about some of the books that she has written and that she has helped other people write or written their stories for them only in their voice. And she was just saying that these 2 books right here, the women who wrote them were 2 of the strongest women she thinks she's ever met.
Absolutely, absolutely. They have inspired so many abuse victims and sexual abuse victims to come forward, to contact them, to tell their stories, to unload, you know, and actually in some cases take action.
That's very important.
And yeah, both of them have received emails and letters from all over the world after their books came out.
Well, I think once you've been a victim of abuse or sexual abuse or just plain physical abuse, you think it's just you. And then
That's it,
someone
exactly.
writes a book and you think, oh my goodness, there's someone else out there that's been through what I've been through. And that's why these books are so important.
Oh, they're
They
very
make
important.
such a difference in people's lives.
Yes, yes. And you know what's very interesting, Judy? On both books, some of the people that reviewed the books actually sent emails saying, never had the ability to tell anybody that I was an abuse victim until I read your book.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, reviewers
Yes.
coming forward and saying that. We've had men who have contacted them and said, you know, nobody talks about the men who are abuse victims
no.
and the boys. And it's very hard for people, especially of our generations, to wrap our heads around because it's been a nasty secret for so many years. And nobody really came forward with it. And, you know, since I've worked with these people, I've become a real advocate for abuse awareness. I post stuff all over the place.
Well, it's important.
I maintain their websites
Yes.
with timely articles and things like that.
Yes. Now this one, tell us about this book.
Oh, see, now this is a whole different situation. Cheryl Cuccio, her name was Cheryl Pearson when she was 16 years old. She was the victim of her father's abuse and incest. And he was constantly physically abusing her, and I don't know if I can say this on TV, but he was nailing her up to 3 times a day
Oh my goodness.
when she was like 14 years old.
That's terrible.
And he was a respected member of the community. He had her totally brainwashed that nobody would believe her if she told anybody. He had her convinced that the principal of the high school, she was a cheerleader, principal of the high school was his good friend and keeping an eye on her and would tell him everything she did, so he'd know what she was doing. And Cheryl was in the news in 1986 to 89 because she finally hired a classmate to kill her father to protect her 8-year-old sister.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, it went that far.
Mm. Yeah.
So you can imagine the trauma
Oh, yes.
going through and she went to an adult jail. It was actually the jail that they use when they film Orange is the New Black.
Oh, really?
Yes, this happened in Long Island. And the media was all over it, but she was 16 years old, she never got to tell her side of the story.
In court or anything?
Well, in court, a lot of it came out, but all the media was all over it, and they were all speculating and fabricating and made her out to be something awful, when in fact she was a traumatized teenager trying to protect her sister.
Oh my goodness.
Her mother was dead, and so she'd promised her mother she'd protect her 8-year-old
What
sister.
an incredible story. huh?
Yeah.
What an incredible life people
Oh,
have.
there's more to it. When we come back, you won't believe the miracle part.
We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Thank you for joining us.
I didn't focus on my weaknesses. I focused on my strength, and I was able not only to lead myself, I was able to lead my team into success. Many people ask me, what do you mean by awakening the powerful leader within you? I have been leading myself and others for years. Well, I tell them, of course you have, but did you know that you have way more power than you can ever imagine? See, you and I, we were born with the capability to lead ourselves to live our purpose. Then life's challenges and obstacles come along and buries our capabilities. How do I know that? I know it because life happened to me.
My question to you today is this. What are you creating? Now, I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he was thinking I'm gonna download something.